Hello and welcome to the Table Talk Otaku podcast. My name is Okami. I hail from a decent sized town in Pennsylvania, from a small town in Oklahoma. I'm a Christian, which affects all my views. And we got one more person here today.
Literally all of them, though. Anyway, hi, Pat
Yes.
speaking. Just Pat is fine. I come from down south along the coast, and I was doing some more mechanic stuff today, but maybe we'll get to talk about that later.
Yeah. Yes, it affects all my views.
Uh-huh.
I don't think there's a view it doesn't.
What about
Um,
your view on Italian cuisine?
no, it affects it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I didn't have too much, as you could see from the podcast themes, to talk about.
Yeah.
Just some stuff I've been kind of listening to and looking at. Um, a lot of what I had mainly had to do with, I guess, news that isn't necessarily that big a news anymore. At least they stopped making it news, but it just kind of disappeared, and then it's reappearing every once in a while, but only when people talk about it. But
I'm guessing you
only,
mean the Iran situation?
yeah, that was one of them. And then a little bit to do with like the Epstein stuff and
Oh yeah.
Diddy and
Ain't heard about those guys in a while.
yeah. But yeah, it's just weird how things are turning out.
Well, I'm not gonna say it's weird. This national news. This stuff always finds a way being national news. But right now, the story that keeps popping across my timeline is this I don't know if they were college or high school aged young adults, but this dude assaulted this woman in New York. Like he was trying to like get her number and stuff. Apparently they went to school together, but when she kept walking away and trying to say no, he ended up. Mom says she shoved him. That's why he did it. But he picked her up and slammed her on her neck and then stomped her face in before walking away. She's in the
Mm-hmm.
hospital now.
Oof.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I saw the clip, but I don't know. It's hard to like. It's hard to see like people didn't see this going in this direction, and now they're all of a sudden. It's like they're pretending that they didn't see this coming.
I mean, he was acting pretty aggressive from the get go.
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
she literally tried to walk away and he pursued her. That's a bad sign.
I know. I'm just saying. This is where I see everything going. Whenever you like, I'm not saying it's good or anything,
Yeah.
and I don't want I like the guy should be in jail and everything, but like whenever the answer to anything is men bad, well then what are men gonna start doing? Just being bad. So I
I
just
haven't heard anything about all that stuff. I just saw where the dude people arguing whether he should be assaulted or not. Because well, the moms the moms made like three different excuses on why he did it, and none of them seems justified for doing that to somebody.
no, I don't think he's justified at all. I'm saying that like in in the culture nowadays, it's like everything anyone does as a guy to I said say like just flirt with a girl even is considered like bad now.
Oh, I wasn't getting into all that. I'm mostly just getting things need to stop being put on a broad spectrum and just to be put down to individual thing. This one person did bad, therefore this one person shouldn't be the example for all men. Like
But that's what
I,
I'm saying is it's because it's gotten to the point of where all men are now affected because this guy did one thing. Now it's just all men are like, okay, not all men, I shouldn't say that. Some
Maybe
men
middle
like
ground.
that guy are just like, all right, then I just give up. Like, and if they say no, then then I do what he did, type thing. That's what I was getting
That's
to.
that's some
That's the
extremism of
problem.
behavior.
Yeah.
But anyway, and what's the other thing I've been seeing in the news? Oh yeah, the dude who opened fire at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah, got
I
taken
don't know
out
much about
before
it.
he got anywhere.
Yeah, well, I know he's going to be
He
appearing in court
fired
tomorrow.
on he fired and killed an officer
Ooh,
trying to get in, and they did their job and did not let the guy in.
that's good.
Yeah. So the guy never got into the place where Trump was.
We'll
But
probably learn
he,
more about it the next week.
yeah. uh, Yeah, but an officer was shot. Oh, he didn't kill an officer. The officer was shot in the vest, in the bulletproof vest. So
Okay,
they're
cool.
okay.
That's even
Yeah,
better. Nobody actually got severely wounded.
yeah. So yeah. Doo, doo. But
And
no, I've been. I don't know. I fell down the. I guess. What do you call it? The
rabbit hole.
no, like is like the VTuber hole,
Oh
but
Lord.
but only for only for people that are like related to Asmongold type thing.
Oh.
Because they kept popping up on my stupid feed, and then I found one funny part, and I was like, "Oh!" And now I'm watching just clips of them looking at memes. So
I mean, yeah, I've been staying away because the last news cycle the last month has been nothing but the same stuff. Like, so I've been kind of like out of the news cycle recently. So I've been mostly listening to this guy's VODs about why he's playing like old school games, and it's hilarious because he was I recently listened to him play Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub Zero, and he is raging so because that game it's not one of the best crafted games, and he has been raging, but he's
mhm.
dedicated on finishing it. But
No,
the channel's called Maximilian Dude, by the way.
yeah, no, I've just been watching Leaflet. That's the one I've been
Oh,
watching mostly. But
oh. Do you see where Shachi started using a microphone again?
I was in her first stream watching it. Said one
Nice.
thing and then left. Dropped a
They
comment, then left.
they asked her for head pad emotes. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
Don't touch them.
I didn't stay for that long. But
Glad to see she's doing better.
yep, she is. That's good.
Haven't
And she's gonna
ha-
be in one of what's her name's concerts.
Nimi or Mint or Doki?
No, the other one, Doki. Yeah,
Yeah.
Doki. She's gonna be in Doki's concert. So that's
Haven't seen
good.
anything from Saba in a while. I wonder if she's doing okay.
She said she was sick and was not gonna be streaming. So I don't know why people keep like
Well, I didn't hear about the not gonna be streaming part, so I was just wondering if she was doing
yeah,
okay.
she said I will turn to streaming when I please type thing. Here, let me do, 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 do. They're having a pop-up event, and then that was her last tweet. But no, I don't know if it was on YouTube or Yeah, let me check her YouTube. There was somewhere she said she would not be streaming for a bit. Well, I don't know. I can't find it. I just remember seeing it.
Oh, and if we're talking VTuber news, I think Final Fantasy 14 just had an event and like a live event somewhere like ruined the game, and they got Iron Mouse to do a music video for him.
Oh, nice.
I got to share the song later on.
Yeah.
In fact, let me look it up right now.
I did hydrate. Uzume, you didn't redeem another one.
Yeah. You gotta use them points. I hydrated too.
Mm,
Hydrate again. I've drunk like 2.5 bottles of water since I got home. I don't know if I can hydrate anymore.
all right. Well, I guess we can jump right into what I had been watching and listening to, but
Hmm. Go for it.
more of like, I guess, reading too. Like, so I went in to the Epstein files and read
Oh,
quite a few, and I can't find anything in there. Like, there's a bunch of horrible things that are said, but the problem with that is they're all just said and nothing. There's no names. There's nothing. I mean, that's all. There's redacted names, but you can tell that the redacted names are victims. And the things they say about them are also about victims and places and things that. So there's no actual like names of people doing things other than people that have already been prosecuted.
mm,
And so I'm just wondering, like, what? So what can they do? And the answer is what's already happening, nothing.
yeah. I mean, shit. They've had what? These files were first apparently been enhanced since the first Trump administration. They've had what 6 or 7 years to redact, and remove information from them before they released it to the public. Who knows what's been
Uh,
taken out or
but the
redacted for
thing
what reason?
is the reason I think Trump didn't release them like immediately is because they were already how they are now, and they were just block. I think Trump's administration was just blocking out all the names that and stuff that are like the victims, which they have to call and they have to ask, do you want your name listed here? They can't just release that. And so I think they did that. And so they blocked out all the names of the people that said they wouldn't want to be like on there because they're victims. Like it, and they left open everything else. You can read the whole thing. I mean, there's what 5, 6,000 pages. Like
You know.
so, like unless you're going and reading every single page, like I'd say he may not have released everything, but I mean, it might be everything they have.
All knows I'll start to care whenever something actually happens because of it.
Well, but that's what I was saying is I don't know how his administration can do anything.
It's not his administration. It's the investigative bodies that have to do something about it, and then it
That's what I
goes to where
mean.
Congress
But they're
does.
all when I say his administration, I mean everyone he hired in those positions, like Hegseth and everybody. They can't do anything. There's nobody in the files. Like they can see the names of the victims, but who cares about that? Like they don't
They're
like
they're the victims.
yeah, no one cares about the victims' names.
No, we care about the victims. We just care about the people that made them
Well, no,
victims.
we
And how
don't
does it
care about
impact
their
them?
names. If I like, if they say you were a victim of Epstein or whatever of the thing that's listed in there, would you want your name in that. Yeah, you probably wouldn't because then you'd be getting a bunch of people saying like, "Why don't you tell us who?" And it's like, one, it happened over how many years ago? So it's like they might not remember anything. Two, it also is like, well, if they weren't citizens or if they weren't like, they've moved on with their life and don't want to relive all that. And so they might not want to be listed because they don't want people coming and just constantly asking them, who's this? And they have like no, they either have no idea, they weren't even a part of that part of it, and so they're just like, I can only tell you who I know that was there, and it might be insignificant and not even like, it might be like, well, Epstein was there, and then it's like, well, yeah, but he's dead, so we can't do anything about it. Like, or
Oh, so nobody
the
wants to be
or
famous,
the
right?
other girl, the what's her name, was there, and it's like, well, yeah, we know that one too, but she's,
Elaine.
yeah, she's already being, prosecuted and everything, so it's like, and then at the same time, as far as I can tell, and what I have been seeing a lot of, like, there's no listing of technically underage anything. Like, they say stuff, but there's no listing of even people like that.
I mean, yeah, it's well, for understand the Epstein files mostly just a bunch of emails that got sent and of course they're gonna try to be as little incriminating as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's like, I don't know. My whole thing is whenever people say like the Epstein stuff, I'm like, okay, well, who? And there's no answer. Then like, what's the point? Who's the people? It's like, well, it's Trump. Well, no, they're in the files. They have Trump as telling the FBI about something they did, and then he's mentioned in conversations between other people. He's not mentioned as being there. So how do you get him on it? And then and then they say, well, this person, that person, and it's circular. It's the same thing. Like, they don't even have Epstein doing anything with an underage person. They only have Epstein on taking a prostitute from one place to another, and that's the only illegal thing they had him on. So that's the thing I always thought was strange. And that's exactly what he was going to be prosecuted for. But then he said he would, give information up about people. And then all of a sudden he was unalived. So I don't know. That bothered me a lot. That I see and hear things, but nobody actually has any solutions to it. And I'm like, so what's the problem? And they just say, well, this person's mentioned in the files, and now all of a sudden that person's horrible, even though the it
Feeling
might
like getting
not
a phone
be
call.
anything.
Feeling
Yeah,
phone call.
you all right?
Sorry about that.
No, you're
My
good.
dad.
So that was
I mean,
one thing that came up a little bit at work, a little bit as on as I was watching videos, and then a little bit just kind of my own thought process of, well, let me just read. And I read, I want to say like 100 or so of the just walls of text that they have that is free to the public. Anyone can go and look at it, and like, there's nothing like even incriminating in half of it. Like, and like, they may say bad things and horrible things, but there's no mention of anyone ever doing anything. So that's the weird part for me.
I mean, these people. Again, it's just mostly just a bunch of communication and emails. They're not going to be dumb enough to just like put a lot of incriminating evidence in these emails. It's going to be a lot of implied shit, and you can't really do much with that unless you can find evidence to back up the communications. So we'll
Yeah.
see when something actually happens.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it'd be. I don't know. I'm a guilty and proven innocent guy. And I don't like that a bunch of people are just being thrown in there as like guilty, whether it be Trump, the Clintons, or whatever. Like, yeah, I think the Clintons have done a lot of horrible things, but they're not even in there as doing anything. So, like, when we like, at least don't put that on there. Like, I don't know. Yeah, and if they had an island with a bunch of stuff, then how do we? Then why hasn't that been?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they already taking control of the island. If they got evidence, they've
They
already
already
found it.
had, yeah. That like that's what I'm saying. There's if there were video cameras or whatever on it, they have all that, and they're not. It's not that they're not releasing it on purpose. It's that like they don't. There's nothing on there. I don't believe anybody cares about. Like, would anyone care if it was just you know bad? It's bad to say like prostitutes,
Hmm.
and that's it. Like not underage, not people not wanting to be there, but consensual prostitutes, even though prostitution is illegal. Like,
I mean, it depends where you go. Some places it's not as illegal.
well, but that's on Epstein Island. It would be because I believe that's under the USA jurisdiction where it's illegal. But at the same time, it's like that's it. What if that's the only thing on the videos? Like, would anyone actually care if that like, and at that point I think that's why like there's no videos. They're just like, oh, it's just essentially sex tapes, like, but it's nothing underage, so no one would actually be, everybody would be like, oh, y'all are just lying that this is all there is.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, I guess
which
you could
I
also just
get it
okay.
that it would ruin some people's reputations. I get
Well,
that.
two people have gotten in trouble for what's happened on the Epstein Island, but they're not Americans.
Well, that's what I mean is like that there's no, I guess that's the answer. There's no benefit to releasing anything. So,
I don't know. I'd find it better to know that people who might have done these heinous things were actually punished for their crimes and not just gotten away with it. It's more of a
but what
it's more of a peace of
crimes?
mind. It's more of a peace of mind that's showing that if you've done something you're not supposed to do, no matter what your status is, you can't get in trouble for it.
Or what's the crime though?
Again,
That's the question.
it's illegal to sleep with minors. That's the crime.
But that's what
It's
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If what if on the island there was no minors? There's no videos
eh,
of it.
well, we don't have evidence because even if it does exist, they have to release it for us to even know it's there.
But that's what I'm saying is everything that they've released, there's no
Yeah, because
minors.
they haven't released anything incriminating. Say if they have it, we'll know if they ever decide to. But that's the thing is they have to decide to tell us. It's kind of pointless to go in circles about it because they got the whole thing on a leash.
I kind of disagree. That's what I'm saying is like I don't think they're hiding anything. The only thing that they like that's what I'm saying they're not putting out is like they're not putting out sex tapes. Not that they're not putting out PDF sex tapes. They're just not putting out sex tapes because it's all consensual adults.
Well, then you don't want to.
That's what
If there
I
are
was
victims,
saying.
you can't just release the videos of the victims. That'd be
Well,
bad for
that's what,
them.
yeah, yeah, and that's what like the victims that were not kids. It's like they just said no, I don't want that out there. Like, and so what do you do? It's like, well, this isn't really incriminating for the other person that was not a, it's just that's what I think. Like we're saying, like a lot of people, not just you, are saying they're keeping things under wraps, and I'm like, at this point, I don't know. Like, are they keeping anything under wraps, or are they just saying like it's not incriminating? So what's the point of releasing something? Like, what's the point of releasing a sex tape between a prostitute and somebody of prominent, like, I'm sure the wife or whatever of that person already knows about it. And then I guess if people want to know, if like they're a statesman or somebody, but like at that point, it's just not helping. I don't know. Now, I'm saying all this with the caveat of if there's really something incriminating, yes, I would want it released. But if there's not, then like I don't see a point in it being released, is what I'm saying. And I think that's where Trump's administration is at. But I think there's a lot more that was already deleted before they got it.
Oh yeah.
But I also think there's a lot more that maybe, is out there that nobody's sharing, but somebody has at the same
I mean,
time.
what, like one of the first major like breaks on the Epstein situation was like what, in 2011. They've had a lot of times to
Yeah,
cover some shit
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. And I'm not saying I don't think Biden's administration. Oh, I don't think Biden himself was smart enough to hide anything. So I don't think he
Oh,
had anything either.
every
Yeah,
administration got other people working behind the scenes, whether it's Biden or Trump.
yeah,
They do what they got to keep things kosher. If you know what I'm saying.
yeah. Like I mean, even in Trump's first administration, I still don't. It was probably all gone by that time because that was 2016.
Hmm,
Like,
that's 10 years ago, bro.
yeah. Well, but the Epstein stuff started in before 2011, and it
Yeah,
happened, and
I'm
it
pretty sure like
happened
in
before then. It happened in like what,
hmm
2000 to
oh
2000 or
he's
like
had an island since like
1990s.
the 90s, yeah.
Yeah,
And then, like I said, once they started having like, hey, they're still having Islam, I'm pretty sure they started sealing up their loose ends a lot more often than at whatever shit first started
yeah,
getting leaked.
yeah. Like we don't even know what Epstein deleted. He could have just deleted everything before he got caught, or even after he got caught, because he could have got caught and then he knew it. He got caught and then deleted everything. But I don't know. Again, yeah, I always thought that was strange that technically all they had on him was moving prostitutes and that's it. But yeah,
By the way, I did Google
same
it.
thing. Oh, by the way, that is the same thing with Diddy as well. They don't have
Yeah, no, they.
anything with him other than moving prostitutes.
Well, apparently though, there's gonna be a lot of civil cases though with him.
Yeah, but civil is doesn't mean anything
Yeah,
until
it
you
doesn't mean jail
get
time. It
to a
just means
criminal
monetary
court.
compensation.
Yeah, like I mean, if you want to take it like that, then Michael Jackson was the worst person on earth because of all the civil lawsuits he had. But everybody's all of a sudden giving Michael Jackson a complete clean slate because he was mentioned as trying to get people out of the Epstein Island and whatnot. So I like I don't understand it. I always thought that was strange.
Unrelated, you know, there's a patron saint for every occupation. There's even a patron saint for prostitution.
I knew it, and I honestly do not care
I'm just saying,
because
it's kind of fun. It's kind of funny.
they're all false saints, all
No,
false
this one's still
things.
pretty funny though. You know who this patron saint for prostitution is?
No,
Saint Nick, Santa Claus.
mm,
And
yeah,
the reason for it, now not before I make any ho 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 jokes. The reason for it is he apparently bought some prostitutes out of their indentured servitude, and like so they wouldn't have to do that kind of work anymore, which is why he became the patron saint of prostitution.
yeah. I mean, I think he would have rejected that, all the
Right?
names and everything. But
But yeah,
I don't know.
That's just a funny fact I learned about a while back.
Hmm.
But anyway,
I've already said
yeah,
my piece. I don't believe in anything the Catholics do. They're a cult.
I know.
So, but praying to humans. What are they doing?
I mean, yeah, you should be doing that. Me, idolizing them for being better people is nice and all, but yeah, I don't know why I would pray to a saint.
Yeah, I bet you. I bet you if Peter, the guy that they claim is the first like pope and everything,
Yeah.
I bet you if he saw anything that the Catholic Church was, he would like go in there and flip tables himself.
I was gonna say, go flip tables.
Flip
Jesus
tables,
taught
make
me
a
the
whip,
way. Flip the tables.
make a whip. Get this guy off of his stupid throne. Why is this throne here? You have a whole
You all should be
city.
ashamed
What
of
the heck
yourselves.
are y'all doing? Like,
They call him they say he's a false whatever. He's not the real Peter.
yeah. What?
Say
No.
the Vatican would find a way to throw him out.
Vatican finds a way to do anything.
Got
What?
their own
Like
armed military.
that? See that? I talked to a friend once, and he's like, "Oh, he was jokingly saying him and somebody else would be president and vice president one day, and he's like, and I'm gonna give you. He told me I'm gonna give you an office. What do you want? And I said I want the office of religion. And he's like, What do you
Oh
mean? He's
dear.
like, I want to be in charge of all religion. And he's like,
Religion in the
Okay,
United
what are you
States.
gonna do? And I was like, I'm gonna name Catholicism as a cult.
I mean, you'd probably name every sect of every religion as a cult.
um, yeah, I'm not. That's not true. The reason Catholicism is a cult is because it takes something that already existed and made a completely different religion out of it. And like they do, at least back in the day, they had weird rituals, and they still do
Wait,
to this
you mean
day.
we're not supposed to kneel stand during mass,
And the bread and the wine is not
and the bread and
supposed
the
to
wine?
actually be Jesus's body and blood.
How do you feel about baptism?
Baptism's part actually like in the Old Testament too.
I know, but do you think there's still a need for people to be baptized?
Yeah, because Jesus did it, and he said
Oh,
that yeah, he said this
I
is
was
a
never baptized.
representation. I mean, it's up. Like, I don't think you have to be saved. That's a misconception. I think that's like completely misguided. Baptism is supposed to be an outwardly expression to the world that you died to yourself, and that's what it symbolizes. You died to yourself, you go into the water, and then you come out a new person.
Christian,
Yeah, that's what
will you
it's.
baptize me?
I would. I don't.
All right.
No,
Well, it's a date.
it's a date, but like, yeah, there's no actual thing that comes with it. Like in Acts, it says, "But that the baptism for the forgiveness of your sins." So some people take that as you can't be forgiven if you're not baptized. But the word there does not
That's a little reading too
necessarily
deep
mean
into it,
water.
huh?
Well, the word for baptism in that one doesn't mean water. It's a different word than what Jesus used. So, like, that's not necessarily the best translation. That's just how it got translated.
I want to be baptized in that pure mountain water we talked about. The good stuff.
Pure mountain water. Yeah, that's another thing. Peter
Preferably
would
not in winter.
Peter. I could see him doing something really weird with the water. Be
Oh
like, you
dear.
call this holy water? The heck?
This this is holy water. He splashed a priest when they start screaming.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the what is it, the Nun series or whatever it is,
None.
the movie, it's supposed to be related to like um another horror movie. I can't remember.
Oh, the one where it's like a demonic possession movie. I can't.
Yeah, yeah, where
I've
the
seen it.
yeah, but there's like a nun, there's the what's his name, The Exorcist, and a bunch of other things. And it's like I think that's actually more realistic, where like there's nuns and stuff, and they're actually just demons controlling the church. But but yeah, if you put your faith in anything other than Jesus, then you're
Oh, it's
essentially
the
you're
Conjuring universe.
yeah, that's it. But yeah, put your faith in anything other than Jesus, then you're essentially making an idol. So that's kind of where my faith begins and ends.
Oh well, I thought this a while back because growing up, you see like the Ten Commandments in all the movies, and you learn about how Moses, like said,
Well,
well, you're
that's
not
Old
supposed to have.
Testament. So
Well,
for
well, listen. Well, I was saying like I grew up Catholic, right? And
yeah,
I saw where like you're not supposed to like they were against having idols and all that stuff. But I'm like, well, then how come the church has all these like things around it that that aren't really related
symbolism.
to God,
Yeah.
like like symbols and stuff. Like, aren't those considered idols? Like that doesn't make
Yes.
sense.
Yes.
Nobody ever explained to me why why the Catholic Church has all like all the paintings and stuff in the stained glass windows. I'm like, wouldn't a church just be
Because they're
appropriate to have
yeah,
next to the
because
house?
it's materialistic. That's also part of cultism. So, but yeah, when they that, and then when I said that, he was like, "Oh, so you're just gonna outlaw any religion?" I was like, "No, just I'm just gonna label things what they are. If it's a cult, it's a cult. Like Buddhism, technically not a cult. It's its own. It's its own religion. It's not based off of anything else. Um, I guess Hinduism, technically a cult because it's based off of some traits of other of all things. But yeah, that's what I would. That's what I would do. Is I'd take over, and then I said, and I would tax the pastors. But
I mean,
yeah,
is there a tax exemption for religion?
yes,
Oh
if
shit!
you are clergy of any kind, you are tax exempt.
But if you're gonna tax the Catholics, you gotta tax all the
That's what I
religions.
said. All the pastors. I didn't say it was Catholics. I said
I mean,
pastors.
but that also includes the Jewish people and the Muslims.
Yep. All the rabbi, all the I don't remember what they call them for the
The
Muslim people, but I'm
the
guessing
people at
rabbi as well.
the the people at the mosques.
Yeah. Oh, everybody. The Buddhist temples with the monks, they're getting taxed if they're in the United States. All the yoga instructors, they're getting taxed. Everybody.
All this income.
Well, it's either that or there's no tax. That's my thought process on it. Why would you leave them out of it?
I was gonna say they the collection plates and how they get all that stuff and donations. They start getting accountants and shit.
They already have accountants. That's the problem.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. Next part was like I know I said Epstein and Diddy, but then I was watching Leaflet a bit and stuff, and lots of stuff on like, and then what you mentioned earlier, like misogyny and all this and feminism. If anyone didn't know, Leaflet's a girl, and so it's funny to hear her be technically what people would call a misogynist today, and it's hilarious when she's actually a girl. But no, it's just it. I just don't. I don't know anymore on like like what is feminism to you?
I don't know. It's changed a lot over the years. It's not what it used to be.
Well, what was it used to be?
It was originally meant to just be fight for rights for women, so they weren't treated as objects and were treated more like human beings.
Okay, so let's go back and of course, other than slavery, where it was mostly men and it was both men and
It was
women. So
everybody.
don't so you
It
can't
was everybody.
can't use the slave as that, but like take anything else. How in the world were they getting treated any less or more than a man would? Like
I don't
in
know. I'm
my
not from back
mind,
then.
I'm thinking back then, like I think women had it probably better than most people.
I mean, it depends on your outlook on things. I mean, some people like believe like they really believe into lean into the traditional wife thing, where
I don't
women.
even think the trad wife thing is even close to what it was.
I mean, traditional wife. Is the woman was the homemaker. She took care of the kids. She kept everything straight.
Mm-hmm.
She supported her man and all that stuff. And it's feminism wasn't so much about breaking away from that. It was just that they were seeking rights that actually gave them some parallels to men. Because I'm not sure when actually citizens were
So
started being allowed to vote for like different federal things, but
yeah.
it was a push for women to have the right to vote too. Was one of their big things because they were being
So
left
what
out of the
about
conversation.
the and that's the thing that I kept coming up whenever I was watching everything. It's like, well, then what about the anti-suffrage movement, which actually had more females than males?
Yeah,
Then I
because
mean, more it had more females than the suffrage movement did.
I'm saying even nowadays you see stuff like that where they have a lot of women pushing back on things like one of the um one of the big talking points during the last election was that you shouldn't vote for Trump because it's going to remove women's rights. But a lot of women still voted for Trump because they weren't fucking with
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, I don't know, like, and also saying like some things are women's rights, but some things aren't is different. Is weird
My
to
body, my
me.
choice.
Well, but like abortion technically is two people's rights if you like depending on your definition. And then at that and then once you get your definition down and you say it's only one person's, okay, then what's the problem with like treating people that way? like I I don't know. It's a to me it's like so just don't care about the consequence of an action. But
Yeah, I've
yeah.
heard a lot of arguments both for and against abortion, so that's kind of a it's a fucking mud hole.
Yeah,
It's a mud
my
pit.
I mean politically like if I wasn't a Christian and didn't believe in the things I did, then politically my stopping point would be um your definition of like what the point of sex is then, because like now I'm like okay just no none at all, but then like if you're gonna say like well I had like a condom on or whatever and not trying to and then but then you wait, I'm like well too bad. But if I didn't have this religious belief I'd be kind of like well at what point do you believe someone exists, and then that's where it should stop. And I think I'd have the same view because I would believe it would happen at conception. So
And as far as abortion rights go, I'm not for there being a federal law for it. I believe it is something that should be a state's law kind of thing. Like if one state wants to allow, one state don't, that's fine. I don't think it should be a federal thing because there's too much federal government as it is.
yeah, I don't care either way on that one because I think no matter what it'd be this like then it's just different from state to state. So it's kind of what happens if someone moves to a state, but say the father or whatever says no. It's like I don't know. You run into a lot of problems on that one. So what happens in that instance if the father wants to keep the baby? Isn't it illegal?
Um,
Like in any
That's not
instance,
that's
I
not
think it's
that's
illegal if the
that's not how
father
most
wants to
people vote.
keep it.
In most situations, the man doesn't have an option in these situations. It's solely the woman's option.
Yeah, if the
I
man
think
doesn't
I
know
think
about it.
I think even in conservative states where you can only have abortions up to the first trimester, it's still the woman can just have it done without any consent from the man.
Yeah, I wholly disagree with that, but I also
I
like
mean, that's another can of worms kind of conversation because it's like, well, if a man has to pay for child support, should he have a say in whether the baby should live or not?
yeah. What about? I mean, and then the big discussion. Well, how's there? Why is there not a law that takes over a man's body? And it's like, well, there's kind of military. You have to kind of go for the draft, regardless of if you want to or not. And it's like, well, a draft hasn't happened. And it's like, well, if six didn't happen, you wouldn't have this problem either.
There you fucking go. I mean, in that case, you start getting into, I mean, again, people probably look at the draft as overreach of the government as it is, because I mean,
uh, I would, unless there was a crisis. I wouldn't. If they were just doing a draft because they're low on military, I say, well, to heck with that. But if we're being attacked, I say, also to heck with your feelings. Draft
I mean,
everyone.
yeah, if it's a discussion of equality, then by all means, feminists should be happy if they're even women are forced to, because it's people between 18 and 25. You have to at least sign up for the draft. You don't necessarily going to get drafted, but it's also you can't vote unless you're. Well, no, that's not. I'm not sure, but that was false.
No, you
The
get
voting.
you get arrested.
I'm
It's
saying the
illegal.
voting part though, like but yeah, no, like if you have to sign up for the draft if you're a man between ages 18 and 25. So by all means, if we're talking equality, then women by all means should be made to do that as well. The equal rights. That's it's basically right there. I'm just saying though, like for far as the other part though, that's kind of like encroaching on bodily autonomy. I mean, sure, we have laws to promote against people raping one another, but that's violating another person's rights. Consensual is very important for this matter. Graping, but I mean, as long as two people come together, what's to say the government to say that they can get involved? What do you want to be Indonesia?
Well, so the selective service is required up until from 18 to 26th birthday, and then you're still technically on the draft,
Yeah.
right?
They were in discussions that they're moving up the enlistment age to 42.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
It doesn't
enlistment's one
matter.
thing.
Yeah.
That just means you can sign up for the military up to the age of 42.
Yeah. So military, Pat, you ready? Let's
I
go.
mean, they'd laughed me out the room.
Yeah, they'd probably not let me in.
Yeah, I mean, both of us got joint issues, and I got other things that I
I
have
got
problems with.
I got a bad back, connective tissue disorder,
I'm not gonna
two
list mine. There's too many.
yeah, like over 13 surgeries.
Hell, probably just the sleep apnea would be keep me from getting it listed.
Oh, I think everybody in the military at this point has sleep apnea. They just have to deal with it. But
Why?
uh
How'd they give away our position, sir?
that's
Lieutenant over here was. I mean, not lieutenant. Private over here was snoring really, really loud.
yeah. But there was something else and now I can't remember that was in the news that I saw. Oh, the Iranian thing. Like
Which one?
I just don't know why they want us to go to war. Like, can we make our minds? Like, Trump shouldn't get involved, and then as soon as he like takes out the Ayatollah, they're like, all right, Trump should get involved even more. And what I'm like,
Well,
wait, like, how about no?
the
How
main
about
problem
we
is the
just
IRGC because they're causing problems, like with the whole
everybody's
blockade,
causing
and
problems.
we're blockading their blockade. Fucking Israel's hurt more than help, in my opinion.
Yeah, at this point, I would just say I would if this is if I was like Trump or whatever, I would say you like to Netanyahu or whoever's in charge. It might not even be him. He just might be the face. Whoever's in charge, just tell them, hey, we're gonna cut all funding
Yeah,
unless you
y'all fucking
leave
straighten up.
these people alone. And then
I mean,
if their reply is okay, we will, but if we get bombed, even if our Iron Dome stops it, we're attacking again, then I'd be like, that seems reasonable.
yeah,
And every time that's happened, guess what's happened? They get bombed. So I can see why Israel's kind of
yeah. Well, I
done
mean,
with
when
it.
whenever they launched on Lebanon, did Lebanon attack them first?
Yeah, they're being attacked every day.
Yeah, I know. Just say I didn't hear about the if that was retaliation or not. That's why I was asking.
That is the thing with Israel, is that that's one thing that I wish media and everybody like. Yeah, I don't like that we give money to Israel either. I don't. I like. Can we just stop all funding? Um,
Well,
or or
just to clarify, just
just give them enough money for the Iron Dome or whatever to where it protects them, and then no money after that. But like, I don't understand the Israel's just killing people for no
no,
reason, because there
just to,
isn't any of that.
I know
Israel's
that
only
I know a lot of it is retaliatory attacks. I know
no
that, but I'm
all
saying
of it.
just to clarify with the Lebanon bombing, all I heard was U.S. and Iran peace talks were interrupted because Israel bombed Lebanon. Nobody mentioned anything about retaliation, which is why I was asking if you knew about that being a retaliatory attack.
Yeah, no, all of it's retaliatory. Yeah, because they keep getting their people keep getting taken and killed in other countries as like political assassinations and stuff.
Hmm.
And it's not even like they're not even involved with Israel's government. They're just Jewish people being taken and being killed. And and Israel's just done with it. They just like, okay, everybody that does this is getting bombed. And it's like, so you can like you can't find it all the time, and that's what's the problem. Is there's like, oh, they're Lebanon's not doing anything to Israel. What do you mean? Every day Israel's getting attacked from Iran, from Lebanon, probably Iraq, probably Pakistan, and definitely Ghana. Not Ghana. What's the place that's Palestine? I forget
Yeah,
what
right next
the town is called. What's the town that everyone was trying to save?
the Gaza Strip.
Yeah, Gaza. And they're being attacked from Gaza every single day. There's not a day that goes by that Israel isn't attacked by them. Now, it might not be a huge bomb. It might not be anything like other than just them taking one person from Israel who's a citizen there and killing them. That might be, and then Israel finds it and is like, all right, we're retaliating. Now, I'm not saying is that always right? Is it always they should retaliate because of one person or one thing that happened? Probably not. But at the same time, If it's been happening for 100 years, I'd probably be pretty fed up as well. But at the same time, they have a dome that protects them from, the bombings and things. The other people don't. So it is, Israel does hit civilians. It's not like they're targeting them, but at the same time,
And I looked it up. It did say Lebanon launched an attack after the U.S. and Israel attacked Iran, and that's what Israel retaliated for. They actually invaded South Lebanon too with troops.
yeah, like but I'm not even saying that it has to be something that big.
Hmm.
I think Israel just retaliates to anything that happens,
Oh yeah,
and
no.
that's the problem that people have. But at the same time, no one's going to put on the news Lebanon attacks Israel. They're not going to do that. They're only going to put on the news Israel attacks Lebanon, even though it was a retaliatory. That's okay. This is the actual question I had that I'm confused about.
Hmm.
That I always wonder why why does everybody think that Israel controls everything? Like
Well,
and like they have a bunch of money and things, and I know there's like one or two CEOs that are technically Israel like
related
adjacent,
to Israel.
or they're even citizens, but like as far as I know, like there's no one world government for Israel. I mean, like
People just try to say that the United States always comes to the immediate aid and beck and call of Israel. If Israel wants to do an attack, America backs them and stuff. We give them funding. Uh, we
no, no, no. I hear they're
we
like
do we do
everybody. Go ahead.
we have laws like to protect them and like I think they're even more like an some kind of like Israeli Jewish hate crime law that was passed in like the last few years or something. I don't know. People just try to use
Okay, I
that
don't
to
know
say that
about that one.
America just panders to Israel or some shit.
I mean, I think that government wise we do, but I think that's also like because they're our only ally in the Middle East, and you see
It's
everybody
true.
else around them.
I mean,
It's like it's very strategic to be friends with Israel. That's all I'm
we're
saying.
we're we're technically allies with Saudi Arabia and Pakistan
Yeah, right.
on paper.
Yeah, right.
On paper.
Yeah, it's like technically Saudi Arabia is friends with everyone, but as soon as something gets cheaper in another place, they go there. So
Hmm.
I don't think they
Which,
have any.
and I gotta admit though, after this Iran shit kicked off, fucking Pakistan's been going through it, bro. It's
Yeah,
been fucking rough. Like, did you hear about that?
a little bit. Not like I haven't been like I. Whenever I hear about stuff, it's always from dumb sources. Like it's from the people in the deli that I work
Well,
with, or it's from a news that I go and look up and find out that half's not true, and so I just don't even I stop paying attention after that.
Pakistan's dealing with four different bodies giving its problems right now. Um, the Taliban that set up shop
Yeah.
in Pakistan that are still being controlled by Afghanistan. Bakolistan, which is the southern half of Pakistan, Iran, and well, India. I'm not India. Yeah, India. India has been fucking with them recently, but it's still always tension between them and India because, well, I already pretty much explained. Yeah, the Taliban who are taking back over Afghanistan are pushing because they don't like the way that the Pakistan government is. I don't know how you want to say it. They never these countries never agree with each other. So the Taliban is
Mm-hmm.
pushing back while inside of Pakistan, Bakolistan, which is actually the southernmost part of Pakistan. has been also pushing to separate itself from Pakistan, but they also don't recognize the border with Iran because part of Bakulistan in their mind is also South Iran. So they've been drawing conflict with Iran. Iran fired missiles into Bakulistan, which again is part of Pakistan because of this. And again, tensions with India have never disappeared between Pakistan and India. So they're they're going through it right now. Pakistan's dealing with a lot of shit.
I don't know how. Like, how are these countries that have just people not living right, even in these wars? That's what I like. Like India has no reason to be in anything. They need to take care of their people first.
I mean, they got a pretty decent sized economy and a lot of bodies they can throw at any problem. They also
Yeah, they got a lot of
they bought them.
bodies that need to be fed too.
Yeah, trust me, that's the thing. Well, that's probably why I like those overseas jobs are very big with that American fuels with them because it does get them some money for anything.
Yeah, I don't. I yeah, I'm not. I answered the phone the other day and got an Indian accent asking about an extended warranty, and I
Oh
was just,
no,
yeah, I was just like, all right then.
listen here, pal.
It's probably for a vehicle I didn't even own. That's always been the funny things about those is like the my home warranty is about to end and it's a call from Oklahoma and I'm like, "Oh, I have
Oh
a
yeah,
house in Oklahoma." Like, and please do tell so I
I
can
figured
go
they gotta get
get
them
my
calls. We have some
yeah.
news about your home security information. I'll be like, I'm renting and hang up.
Yeah. Yeah, I always think it's funny. It's like I don't one, I don't live in that place anymore. Two, I don't think I ever lived in the area that you're talking about. Maybe I should start taking the calls and then filing lawsuits against the people who actually own the home. Be like, that's mine. I was
The,
told by this guy on the phone.
the thing is, I think they also use some kind of service that like makes it where the number that appears isn't the number they're actually calling from, wherever that crap is. So
Yeah, I
it's
know.
hard to track who is actually making the phone calls.
Yeah, but the what I was saying earlier about the whole Israel thing is like where's all these people that say control everything from Israel? Like that's what I'm wondering. Like the music industry. Who's this person that like everyone says Israel controls the music industry, whether it's Kanye or somebody else. I don't like
I
who
don't know
is
about any
it?
of that
Why don't
stuff.
you just name it? Name them. That would make them very angry
Oh,
if
you're
you
talking about
named
when
them.
Kanye was gonna say that on Timcast? Like you know who we're talking about. And he's like, who? You gotta say it, man. Is that what
No,
you're
no,
talking about?
no, no. He's come out and said he's actually that's one of Kanye's beefs is with Israel and stuff is that they control the music industry. Um, and that's why he was pushed out. That's his big gripe with everything there. But at the same time, there's other people who say, "Oh yeah, and Israel controls America or whatever, and Israel controls like this and that." It's like you would think they were Amazon or Google or whatever, and I'm like, they
Elon Musk.
none of these people that I look up are or none of these companies are even related to Israel. Like, who? What are you talking about? I don't know. I just thought. I think that's what I was always like. Why doesn't anyone say the names of the people they're referring to? But it's because they don't exist. Is my conclusion at least is that they don't actually exist. But
I mean, faceless monster is scarier before you give it an identity.
true, true, true.
Let's see.
All right. Well, do we want to move into the next one, or you got any more?
I had something there, but I can't remember what it was. It wasn't anything major anyway. I think it might have been more about me than anything. But what was it? Oh,
Hydrate.
yep. Drink some water.
But all right. Well,
I
question number technically 3 on here.
mean,
What does it
the first one's
mean?
it's not a question. It's just an introduction.
Yeah. What does it mean when people say life experience?
It's kind of obvious.
I don't think it is cuz like that's why this is why I'm asking this question is because my definition of what people mean by life experience I find is completely different than somebody else.
Oh, what I consider life experience is somebody basically learning to what it means to be an adult. Like you spend the first part of your life like with your parents handling most of your problems and all, well, most of your like business and stuff. Life experience kind of comes with learning to support yourself, learning how to take care of things yourself, not having to be reliant on others. Now having a partner to ease your burdens isn't a bad thing. Just it's kind of comes down to self reliance and understanding not just those things, but also how to handle yourself as well. I do find that when we have younger employees with less life experience, they kind of either can't handle the job we do or are just back under the pressure because
Okay,
it's stressful.
okay.
Okay.
So when you again, like I need a specific like
Well,
that's
it's
what
not
I
just
that's
one
my
thing.
but that's what I'm saying is I you didn't name any. So I
Yeah,
need
I
a
did.
couple. Okay, like
I
what?
said life experiences learn how to understand and take care of yourself and being able to handle yourself in an orderly manner like an adult would.
So learn how to take care of yourself where or when or like
In life,
just yeah, yeah, like you can't
because
use
life's
life
not.
to describe life.
I mean,
I
be able to
need
take care of yourself as an adult means be able to keep jobs, provide for yourself, be able to
okay,
troubleshoot and handle problems.
this is where I like okay, I can agree with you,
I mean, you're
but
asking
I
for something that
don't
has
believe that's what people
you're
actually when they say life
you're asking
experience.
for a solid definition on an abstract concept as it is. So
No, no, no. What I'm the reason I put this here is because people say, "Oh, I have," like it came from other people talking and me just
uh-huh.
listening. A lot of the stuff I pick up on a day to day basis from people talking. I'm just like I don't agree, and two, like I don't think that's a like good life experience if it's a life experience at all. Like, should anybody ever have any experience with drugs, like hardcore
No,
drugs? Well,
I don't.
if somebody goes through hardcore drugs, gets right and comes out
Bro,
of it,
I see what you meant by life experience, or at least the
yeah.
context you
See,
did.
now you're under. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I meant what life experience as an abstract concept is like what it means to have life experience, and that to me it's like moving into maturity. You're talking about life experience as in doing things just to do them. Like
yeah. Well,
that's
no,
something
that's not what
else.
I would take it as.
I mean, like you're saying, like, oh, this person has the life experience of being on drugs. That's I
No,
just that's not what I could that's not what I think when I think about life experience.
that I think me and you have a similar definition of life
Yeah,
experience. And I think what I
maturity.
hear from other people is like, wait a second, that's not an experience you need. So how is it a
No,
life
that's
experience?
just you experiencing drugs. That's not a life
Yeah,
experience. That's
yeah.
just something that you did. That's not, like
Or
you're an
like
experienced drug user. That's all that
yeah,
is.
yeah, like does anybody need to experience an abortion
That's like saying like,
or
oh
anything?
well, let's kind of put it more of in like a less illicit kind of situation. Like somebody who works and trains and becomes a chef. Does that just means he's got chef life experience? No, he's a fucking trained professional. He's a chef. That's That's why I don't fuck with that definition for thing or using it in that kind of context. It just doesn't make sense. That's just something that you've done. It's whether it's something you trained and done or learned or studied, or something that you just did because it's a hobby or because you like doing it, like drinking and all that shit. That's not fucking life experience. That's just something you did. That's stupid.
Okay, so this also came like into my head because people were talking about it as like in a kind of a you need to have this experience, and that's like
No,
underage drinking
no,
or going to a party with your friends and discovering drinking or sex or smoking or anything.
oh
And I'm like, none of that is experience that I think anyone needs.
no. It's they're also they're whoever's saying that is like misconflating things that you need to have happen with things that are just commonly happen. Like it's very common in American use to have a kind of a wild life because you're young. You just go experience things and have fun. And you don't really have to deal with the consequences for the most part because you're young. And then when you get older, these things become harder to do. So you might as well do it while you're young. No, you don't have to do these things. It's not a
Well,
necessary thing.
I mean, I think there was more the context of since they got to experience that, they're more mature now that
Uh
they
huh.
went through it and everything. And it's like, well, who's more mature? The person that made mistakes and went to jail, or the person that just didn't make mistakes? That's which one's more like, say they're the same age. Who has more experience? The one that made mistakes and went to jail, or the person that didn't make a mistake? And
It,
they're
w-
both
rather
in
than
this.
saying rather than saying it's a mistake, because again, these things don't necessarily mean you got in trouble for them. It's more feels like they're just trying to justify bad behavior, and I don't mean bad behavior as in like they've
Mm-hmm.
been just naughty all together, but underage drinking is something that should be frowned upon. It's technically against the law. You're not supposed to do it, but a lot of people do it anyway. But saying like, oh well, it's just life experience. No, it's you just wanting to party and do things while
But
you're still
okay,
young.
okay. Now let's put you in a position like, say you're a parent or an adult, and kids are at your house and they're doing these things.
Well, in most places, you get arrested or in trouble
No,
for
no, no,
violence if you're
no.
allowing kids
You're
to drunk.
you're the parent in charge or
Yeah,
whatever.
and
Do
allowing
you call the
or
cops
allowing
on them?
allowing or providing these things to happen with a minor can actually get you in trouble because
Yes,
I'm
I
for like
agree. It can. I'm just saying that because of the experience where people don't get in trouble for it, that means that there's usually somebody who's over drinking age or something there, or at least giving them the stuff. So,
hmm
what do you do in that situation?
well, if they were caught, the person who done it would be arrested. That got the providing alcohol to minors because again that is a crime. But there was an argument I heard a long time ago, which is kind of fair, where a certain parent was allowing her son to have parties, and granted, their son was late teens, and I think back then they didn't move the drinking age up until 21 yet. It was still like 18 to drink, but they're like, look, if I didn't let them have the parties here, they'd be out somewhere else, possibly getting in trouble or hurt. So I'd rather them at least have it on my property so they wouldn't get hurt or maimed. But they weren't providing alcohol either. They were just giving them a safe place to drink and party at. Guess there's a moral argument for that, but
I don't. I
again,
no.
I'm not one for
Moral
underage
argument
drinking.
goes out the window once you ask the kid why were you doing it. And if they don't have a good answer, then the moral argument's gone. Because then the moral argument is the kid should go to juvie jail or whatever for it.
I mean, even most situations, if kids caught with alcohol or teenagers caught with alcohol, they'll just get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't agree
It's
with,
it's it's
but
more of a law to to arrest people who are providing alcohol to a minor than the actual minor doing the thing. Like the old argument that you shouldn't actually arrest the person addicted to drugs. You should just arrest the drug dealer kind of situation.
if the person wasn't buying drugs, there'd be no drug dealer.
People get started somehow.
And yeah, I don't know. See, so
Sounds like some
good,
victim blaming.
yeah, I blame all victims if they claim that they could have, if they did something that they could have
I didn't
made
have
a
much choice but to
decision.
buy these drugs.
Yeah, yeah. That at
Yeah,
that point, I'm like, okay,
but
yeah.
here's the thing: is if you get rid of the drug dealer, you take out the root cause of the problem, like the guy who's actually providing the illicit substances.
Oh, but that's
That's
what I'm
that's
saying. There's no drug dealer without a person buying drugs.
yeah. But you
So if there's no one buying drugs,
instead of arresting 100 people, you arrest one and take care of the
no,
problem.
no, no, I get that. I'm just saying, why is there a problem?
Not to mention you have to also put up those people in prison and take care of them for the next however many years they're sentenced for being on drugs. So that's just a drain on the state.
Yeah, you're at the point of which there's already people on drugs. I'm at the point of why are you on drugs? What's wrong?
I mean,
What's with you?
if we're gonna go back thousands of years to nip the drug problem in the bud, we're gonna have to get to work on a time machine pretty soon.
Uh, I mean, I'm not gonna say what my actual view on the. I think I have before, and
Prohibition.
it's definitely not the best view, but it's also the view that absolutely ends it all in one go, but or
Jesus take
ends
the
it
wheel.
eventually. No, I mean I don't mind saying it. Like if somebody wants to kill themselves with drugs, like it eventually solves its own problem. So, and then we just make it really hard for the next generation to get them.
I mean, that's what they're pushing. In fact, I think Trump did he just sign something about funding to use psychedelics to help treat people who got PTSD and stuff.
I I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, Joe Rogan was involved with it. He Trump signed some kind of thing to allow for research funding the use of psychedelics to help treat people with like mental disorders and PTSD.
Oh, well, I mean, if it can help them and everything under supervision. Oh, but that's the thing. It's under supervision and everything. Like meth is not technically the worst
No,
thing.
we got plenty of things that are legal substances that have quote unquote safe to use a form that provided by the medical services. Uh, Adderall is basically methamphetamine or just amphetamines. Gabapentin is a legal form of cocaine, and methadone is more or less heroin. It's actually used to help people get off of heroin. It's like and like that's why they got methadone clinics.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've already got legal forms of these drugs. We just it's regulated by the FDA.
Yeah. I mean, I just still don't. I, like I said, I don't think my options, my worldview on it is always the best. Um, but I do
Your
think
worldview is
is
let the problem sort itself out.
yeah, yes and no. My, I mean, people would hate my worldview because my things with cops and other stuff would be like you don't ask them what's going on here. You just find the drugs, and then if they're drugs, then you take them all. Um, and then for the people on drugs, it's like you don't help them. That's basically it. There's no subsidies or anything. It's like you did this to yourself. Get the kids out of there though. That's my that's my thing is get the kids out, get them to good homes, people that aren't on drugs. And if the parents or whatever want to get their life together, then I think that's awesome. And I would be open and ready to go for people that want to get their life together, but I am not open and ready for people that don't. I would just close everything off to them. If you don't want to get right, no help. So, but I also like I'm from a family who got over stuff like that and did it cold turkey. So it's not. I'm also very jaded to stuff like that. My dad and my mom were both smokers. My dad and mom both did drugs when I was younger, but then got right and never looked back. My dad did it completely all in one day, and yeah, may have had. I don't know. I was too young back then to know if he went through, a hard couple weeks, but he never looked back and never, as far as I know, never did it again. So I
Hey, good
just,
on him.
yeah, and I just think everyone can do that. They just need the mental fortitude to do it.
Oh yes, addiction's a tough thing to beat.
Yeah, I don't think it's easy. I'm not saying,
Yeah, I know.
I don't. I'm not saying that.
I'm just agreeing with you on that. It's just
Yeah.
yeah, it's a tough. It takes mental fortitude because it's a tough thing to beat.
Mm-hmm. So, but and I think that affects me a lot. Uh, is that my family did that, so I know it can be done, and therefore I'm like, well, if you just decide to stop, then I'm not saying you just can, but you can definitely try. You can do it for an hour, you can do it for an hour, you can do it for two. If you can do it for 2 hours, you can do it for three, and you keep adding to that until you don't do it anymore.
After 3 days, though, my precious,
Yeah,
it hurts us.
but the back to what we were talking about, like, so one of the conversations was, yes, about somebody saying, oh yeah, if I caught my kid, having a party or something, I'd be like, oh, like I had that experience when I was a kid too, and I know how it is, so I wouldn't.
So you want to pass your
Yeah.
alcoholism down to your children? What's the point?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't. I don't think they would say they're alcoholics,
I mean,
but
there
then,
there's a part of that argument that say you don't want to be a hypocrite. Like, I did this myself, so why should I ban my kids from wanting to do the same thing? But at the same time, you should know that not good things don't always come from these situations, and it could be a worse thing than it's a gamble. It could be
yeah.
something they look back on fondly. It could become something bad that ruins their life. So I'd rather not roll those dice.
Well, I'm also very. I would say I'm actually way more lenient than people think because of my worldview on like alcohol and stuff like that.
Free will.
Like, no, no, I'm saying I'm more lenient as in I know what the laws are because I was a youth minister for so many years. I had to learn exactly what the laws were for um, underage drinking and everything because there is a legal time and a legal place and everything for kids to buy. Well, they can't buy it, but to consume alcohol in the United
Rumspringer.
States. What?
Rumspringer.
I have no idea what you're referring to, but
It's from a movie. It's about
okay.
some kind of Amish rite of passage deal where like 2 weeks before they become an adult, they can go off and have party and do things, and then come back and live an Amish lifestyle. It was for. I don't think it's actually real though. I think it's just a joke.
Yeah. But no, kids under at the age of 16 can consume alcohol in the home legally. There's no there's no law against it as long as your kids are okay with it. I mean your parents.
Okay.
As long as your parents are okay with it, it's not illegal for you to consume alcohol in the home.
So the kid can legally get plastered. Noted.
I mean, I don't know if I don't think anyone should get drunk. I mean, it's public intoxication is still illegal. But
Well, but you're not in public. You're in the home.
well, that's true. I guess I don't know. Like I'm not saying what you should and shouldn't do. I'm just saying that like if I had a beer in my home and he was and my kid was 16, Just be like, "Can I have a beer?" I'd ask Ange first and be like, "Well, legally." Well, first I'd look up in my state and I'd be like, "There's no law against it."
Now, what did you say they had to
Then
be
I'd be
again?
like, "Okay, I don't care." What?
What age did they have to be again?
I think it's 16 for in the home with parental consent, and but it's not like all people, all kids. It has to be your kid, and it has to be in
Yeah, I
your
can't
home.
just say, "Hey, Jimmy, bring a friend. I'm gonna let y'all get plastered."
Yeah, yeah. Like, you can't give another parent's kid their
Like,
alcohol,
whoa,
but
buddy,
you
whoa.
can,
Why,
but you
why are you
can give
passing my
your
child?
kid. But then at 18, at a restaurant or any public place, I believe you can legally buy alcohol for your kid, and the kid can have it. And then at 21, of course, they can buy it and have it.
Uh,
I'm pretty. I mean, like I said, it's been a few years, but I'm pretty sure those are still the laws. I don't know why they would change that because it doesn't make sense.
yeah, I got nothing else. I find it kind of funny though.
Do, do, do. Yeah, it depends on the state laws. So there's 29 states that allow it, and some that don't.
Oh, I don't think I got to finish mentioning this
So
earlier, but
Pennsylvania, no, I can't.
there are places in the U.S. But basically there's it's I don't think it said there's prostitution itself is legal in the United States, but every state has it banned except for certain counties in Nevada, and I think they said Maine. They have a it's not that it's completely legal to prostitute yourself in Maine, or if I remember correctly, but there are some laws about like not being arrested for sex working or
Yeah.
being a sex worker.
Well, I mean, technically, okay, so prostitution is illegal, but that's
Prostitute.
because that is where you're like parading yourself out on a public street corner.
Yeah.
But then, like, there's laws in California that you can legally sell your body to somebody.
Can't sell somebody else's body though.
No,
But
but
also,
I think, and
every
I don't want to. I need to find the law, but I believe the law goes down to 13-year-olds in
although I
California, and that was the big problem a couple
yeah, that was a big
years
stink a
back.
few years ago
Yeah,
about consent with people like like a 10-year gap or some shit.
yeah.
Now the other thing was I think it is a federal law to move somebody from across state lines with the idea of I mean with the intention of having sex with them in a prostitution kind
Wow,
of manner.
full circle with the Epstein slash Diddy stuff.
Right? That's what I say. That's where it becomes federal. Is you can't transport somebody across
Yeah,
state lines with the intent to have sex with them and pay them
yeah.
money for it. That's where it gets federal. Because
Mm-hmm.
technically, it's the same with alcohol. You're technically not illegal to transport alcohol and substances like that across state lines because that would be bootlegging.
Oof.
But I mean, if I bought a 6 pack in like the next like because I live right on the border at the next state over and brought it home, nobody's gonna fucking give me fucking harassment
No, I'm
over it.
calling. I'm calling the cops on you now, Pat.
Yeah, it's a good thing I don't drink.
He bought that in Louisiana. I know it.
Oh, I went and picked up my medication, but went to work. Oh no, I transferred this medicine or
You
substance
did.
control substance across
It's
state
crossing
lines.
the
Get him,
border with medicine. Get him.
get him.
um. So that kind of
Oh,
goes with the hot take that I had this week. Was just continuing the convo of there. I believe that some experiences aren't good, and
they
having
aren't
them doesn't
necessary.
make you a stronger or a better person. Um.
Oh,
But
sorry. Um, I was looking up Steam to see if there's any news on there. One's funny. Dark and Darker is getting early access season 9. That's kind of ridiculous. But they announced Golf with Your Friends 2, the sequel that we never knew was coming.
golf with your friends too. I
Yeah,
think
it's
I've actually heard
coming
of
out in the
that one.
fall.
Yeah.
Oh wow. It looks like it's just a classic game but with like crazier levels from this few clips that I've
Yeah,
seen.
that's probably what it is they just couldn't keep adding to this one. They had to
And they
update
can
it.
improve the engine and like add
Yeah,
more zany stuff or more capabilities instead of just updating it. Just
yeah,
full send a whole new system. Yeah, man.
and charge you a bit more money for not.
Well, yeah, it's another reason to without having to release DLC, they can just charge it for a whole game.
Yeah,
What if they go with the Counter Strike 2 route where they actually just update the game and like all the levels are back, so you really just had to buy the first Golf with Your Friends and you got all the Golf with Your Friends stuff updated.
that'd be cool.
It would be, but I doubt it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I mean, you spend a few years working on a project or however long they spent working on a lot, you're gonna want to get paid for it.
true. All right. Well, I think we just go straight into recommendations.
Yeah, because that was the hot take was kind of covered.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? Okay, so I'm gonna, is it? I know you've talked about this on the podcast, so I don't think it's a thing you avoid bringing up. But what do you think about the experience you had of your mom or whoever it was getting you a prostitute?
I mean, they never got me a prostitute. I don't know if this was a misunderstanding, but
No, no, I'm just saying. Okay, well, never mind. I'm not gonna.
I'm about
I'm
to say
just.
I don't remember talking about this ever before. It's like, I
You
remember
said
one
that.
time she got me porn. That's
Oh,
different. That's a little different, Okami.
no, I thought okay, you did say this. I'm gonna have to go watch every single podcast we ever
Oh my
had.
god, no! I'm saying my mom never got me a prostitute, bro. That's not what you're talking
Okay.
about.
I thought you had said in the past that
What?
your mom handed you sat you in a room with somebody and said
No.
y'all can do whatever you want.
No, in fact, there's two stories that can kind of be misconstrued in this way. One, I don't know if I ever told you this, but one time it was kind of started as a joke, but she followed through. I told her, I said, "Mom, I feel kind of feverish. I don't know if I'm sick or not." She's like, "Nah, you're just hormonal. Let me go get you some a hustler." And she literally came back with a hustle like an hour later because she had to go to the store. She's like, "Oh well, let's follow through with the joke." I was like, "Mom, really? What the fuck? I can't use this. You
Okay.
know I have it." But anyway, the other story was, um, whenever I was in like late teens and getting getting close to graduation. She has some friends that were fond of the marijuana. Let's just put it that way. They
Mhm.
like to burn the green. And she said, "Hey, I don't know if you've ever been interested, if you would like to try it, but I trust these people. I know they're not going to put anything crazy in it. If you want to try marijuana, I'll let you try it right now." And I said, "I'm good. I don't have any interest in getting high," and I just turned her down. That was the two stories you might have got misconstrued. I don't know how.
Yes. Well, when you say hustler, what do you mean?
Hustler magazine,
There
pornography.
you go, cuz I had no idea. I
Oh yeah,
thought that
no,
was a person.
Hustler. They were the big computer with Playboy. They were like their main competition
Okay.
because Hustler
Well,
shipped their stuff.
there's the one that I got misconstrued because when
Okay,
you say hustler and not
you
hustler
think of a
magazine,
hustler, not the hustler.
yes, I was like, okay, that I can't believe she did that.
No, sir. That's fucking hilarious. My mom was a Catholic, sir.
And
I'm just kidding.
Catholics, all they have to do is go to a priest and confess, and then they're good.
We come full circle.
Well, yeah, that's why they're a cult. In
Just
Christianity,
ask for
you
forgiveness
cannot
and be
do what you
fine.
want. You can't just do anything you want and then ask for forgiveness. That is not how Christianity works, but in Catholicism, it is. Yeah,
Let's see.
but okay, well then there you go. There's a funny. I would have definitely found that. I would have, and then
Yeah,
you would have
like
been like, "Oh,
you just
this
didn't
is
know
what I
what
meant."
a
No,
hustler
no,
was.
I know what a hustler is. I do
No, no,
not know what
this
Hustler
context.
magazine is.
Yeah, Hustler magazine. Go look it up later.
I don't want to look it up. I probably are. I can figure out what it is from the name. but a
Hmm.
hustler is a person, or a, and there is a short version for a female hustler that is is like a derogatory term that I will not use. But yes,
This has been an
that
amazing
is what I
conversation.
thought originally when you first said that, because you did not say magazine. But also, I've never lived in the years of the magazine, so I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, I wonder when if Hustler ever got discontinued.
I'm sure it's still going for the old men that still, like you, that still are fond of
Bro,
memories.
I need more than pictures. I need like stories and context and like a overarching plot. I don't need just pictures of some chick.
Oh, no wonder you can't get a girlfriend. You're just like,
Right.
where's the story to this?
Where's the
Oh,
emotional build up
yeah.
and the character development, girl? Show me some progress and I'll
Yeah.
get with you.
You did not run with bread in your mouth to get to me. I know.
He goes straight into the freaking the anime tropes. Jesus.
Mm.
That's fucking hilarious. Breathe, Okami.
Water.
Drink some water.
No, I went down the wrong pipe.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the water was about to kill me there. I don't need
Hydration almost
more
got
of
him
it.
killed.
That's a funny story. That this is why I always thought I could be a comedian. It's because things happen, and
You gotta stand on stage and let it
I
go.
have stories to tell. Like, but I know Ange would hate me
Go for
because
it.
the story is about her a little bit. But I drank water and started like coughing really hard because it went down the wrong pipe and was like,
Mm.
well, she grabbed a water bottle and handed it to me, and I was like, I was laughing at that point and still coughing. And she's like, "What? Take it. You need it." And I'm like, "No, it's killing me." Like you're trying to kill me even more. That stuff is suffocating me right now. But of course, I would do a better delivery. But yeah, that'd be the joke. Trying to hand me the thing that's putting me to death in the moment.
Okay. Before before we move on to recommendations, two more things. A
Mm-hmm.
Citizen of the Bookworm season 4 has started airing.
I saw. Yeah, we haven't
Also, and
watched it yet.
I talked to Osa a bit about the Jack of all trades anime I mentioned watching. He said if we start that one, he'll join us for anime night.
Oh.
Because our friend Somnion also said, yeah, that was really good. He went into about stuff about it, and I went into stuff. I was like, you know what? I'd be interested in watching that. Just
Mm,
saying.
I'm good with whatever. Anime nights, like, usually I suggest anime I wouldn't watch by myself. So,
Hmm.
like,
A lot of
that's
stuff.
why I don't mind not watching Slice of Life, because most of the Slice of Life stuff that is on there, I'd probably watch myself. And so I don't
For
care.
me, I try to make it something that I know everybody's gonna enjoy. So I try to look for something that looks like
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna hit everybody's at least a few boxes for everybody. Check them off, you know.
Yeah, like, I probably need to go back and watch Freyren season 2
I'm actually
by
gonna rewatch it
myself.
eventually too.
Yeah, yeah, because, like, yeah, it's fun to sit and watch it with everybody and comment on it, but like, I don't know if I paid attention the whole time because I
Yeah,
was
you
also
get
looking at
distracted,
my
go to
phone.
mute chat.
Kept trying to find that stupid Himmel gif or the Himmel picture where she's like a cat and does the Himmel flashback.
Yeah, you get sidetracked when people are talking.
Yeah. So,
Oh, and it looks like a new anime based off the manga by the creator of Full Metal Alchemist is out called Demons of the
boo,
Shadow Realm.
boo. No, I'm just
What?
kidding.
I know. Wait. Oh,
Every
Iruma-kun
time it
season.
has, you have to bring up.
No, I'm just saying. There's an anime that the art's
I know.
exactly the same, and I think the manga's by that person. So I'm just saying it's called Demons of the Shadow Realm, and
Hmm.
also Iruma-kun season 4 is airing as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to watch that.
I think I still need to watch season 3. So
Dude, you need to watch season 3.
I'm going to eventually. I'm like right now. I'm on a Haran San season 2. I'll probably watch Aruma Kun after that. But Or I'll wait till season 4 ends and then watch 2 seasons. There we go. I'm a
There's always that.
patient man.
I know.
Uh, but as we go into recommendations, I have one I watched recently to recommend, and that is a very hold
Bless you.
on. Oh man, the
Damn, bro. Get
water's coming out everywhere.
get your life together.
Uh,
You got beef with H2O.
it's just yeah. But the Invisible Man and his soon-to-be wife is going to
That's the
my
one I recommended to you,
recommendation.
huh?
No, I've seen. I had it already in my watch list whenever you
Well,
recommended
no,
it
I'm
to me.
just saying. Like, as soon as I saw, I'm like, I think you'll like this, and I sent you a link to it. So,
Yeah, yeah, it was already in my watch list at that point. But yeah,
yeah, I was like, yeah, this is right up your alley.
this I think anyone who like I always try to find these to where it's a what's the word not uh high school high
Right?
school thing.
As you get older,
Yeah, I'm like, where's the adult love stories? Like, and I don't want like adult as in R18.
adult
I
content,
want
yeah,
adult as in like
time
the people
characters.
are adults and they're falling in love.
Like
And
one of the greatest things about the Demon Lord as a part timer was like everybody in that show except for his coworker was a consenting adult. It's like, well, thank you, finally.
yeah. So the Invisible Man and his soon-to-be wife literally is about an invisible man and then a lady who's blind, um, who and they work together. The Invisible Man's a what's it called?
Oh,
Investigator.
Demi, Demi
Uh,
Human, I was gonna say.
a private no, he's a private investigator, and she's like his secretary. And there's other people that work in their office and stuff, so it's not like just them the whole time or whatever.
Hmm.
But um, she can't see, so it's like she can tell when he's there and everything, and he's so used to people not realizing where he is because he can even make his clothes and stuff go invisible.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so his race or whatever it is, I mean he calls it a race in the show. So they have a whole village of invisible people, and his race can sense other invisible people, so they know where everybody is if they're invisible, but other people can't. However, since she's blind, all of her other senses are heightened, and she's just a normal human, and she can tell when he like walks in the room because she can the smells change, or she can hear his footsteps that are barely audible to anybody else, but to her they're loud and stuff like that. Or and she can also, so like she's I don't know, she's just more aware of him, and then at the same time she also needs to feel and touch to see herself. So
Yeah.
it causes, things to kind of they have to get close for him to actually know, oh, I'm right here, and then he like grabs her hand or whatever, and then or she's asking, I want to see what your face looks like, and the only way she can do that is by touching his face and stuff like that. And so yeah, it's just a very natural love that blooms, but then at the same time I like how quick it is. I don't like because they because I feel like that's more realistic. Like people say how long that it takes them to get married and everything, and I guess it's just people that don't. I don't know. They're scared of life experiences. I don't know what they're scared of, but like this is how it kind of was for me and Ange. We met, and within I want to say a year and a half, we're married. It's just kind of how things go. If you like somebody, if you or love them, in that way, you kind of know, and you get to that point. So, and it happens all really quickly in the show, and they don't like say that it happens slowly in the show either. They say it happens over, I think it's like a year and a half as well. So it's it's a great show and very good dynamic. Now there are other like races and stuff. There's other monster people and stuff, but very cool. And then also his work's kind of cool since he can go full invisible. He's like trailing people sometimes and other things. And it's not just about them. Like I said, there's other characters. So fun
Yeah,
watch. Fun watch.
it does look pretty charming.
hmm There's a elf couple. One's a dark elf.
Oh,
One's a light elf. The dark elf is cursed, and the light
as
elf
always.
can heal and stuff like that. And their dynamics hilarious because the dark elf he's a guy but he acts very effeminate, and the girl's just like always getting mad at him. Everything, but very good dynamic.
Re- Reminds me of the anime we watched where the guy the isekai one where he had the weird looking dragon friend and oh he also adopted that dragon too and at the end of the series you find out the problem with the elf society was they were all inbred and it was causing genetic issues so
Yeah,
the daughter came home with a dark elf husband. It's like hmm, yeah, I mean I can see it working out that way.
yeah. That wasn't that an isekai.
It was an isekai, yeah. He was tall as shit was the thing. Like he was taller than every human they ever met in that whole show.
Yeah, I forget the name of it.
I can't remember it either, but it was an entertaining little watch. Not gonna say it was a 10 for 10 anime, but it was entertaining.
No, I would have gave that one probably like a 7 out of 10,
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say 6 or 7.
that's generous a little
That
bit.
is generous because it was kind of hokey. Like the whole production was could have been better, but I can't say I didn't
Yeah.
enjoy it.
I will say though, like not even being generous, I would give the Invisible Man and his soon-to-be wife a 9. It's not a full 10, but it is close. Like a full 10, I'd want a bit more suspense, maybe something like very that like I don't know. They would have had to do something almost Freyrin like for me to give it a 10.
Golden
But
Time.
it Golden Time's not a 10 for me. Golden
All
Time's
right.
probably an 8. But yeah. No, it was good. It was good enough to where I would watch it again. So, what's your recommendation?
I posted about it in no Mike, you chat me, not no Mike. I watched the English dub of this a while back because I wanted something I could have on to watch while I'm doing things, and I actually got kind of really into it. It's a pretty fun little watch. It is kind of like I'd say a charming little anime. It's not like super deep, but it actually gets a little darker than you might expect it to be with the way the art style goes. But it's called the
Yep.
Weakest Tamer Began a Journey to Pick Up Trash, and again on the kind of darker things, the series opens with her getting exiled from her village because she's in the world everybody is born with certain or born with skills and they get rated when they hit like age 5 and show
Mhm.
what kind of skills they have and they have stars next to them. Well, her skill is taming, but she has no stars. And the village head kind of starts saying that she's a bad omen. She's gonna be like this very bad thing for the village. And her father mostly, but her family goes along with them, agrees that like she's basically gets kicked out the family. And and by the time she turns 8, the last person protecting her was the village fortune teller who helped she helped the village by predicting crop outcomes and stuff. Well, she passed away. The village head pins it on her, so she has to finally flee the village. But in the 3 years she was living without her family, she learned how to survive on her own. The fortune teller helped her get things so she can learn how to be self sufficient. And she goes on a journey to basically to fulfill the last wish of the fortune teller and also survive on her own and be an adventurer. So it's a pretty cool little story.
Yeah. I have that one in my watch list as well.
Yeah, like I said, I watched the English dub and it's pretty good little dub. It just I mean, there's not much to really change about this. Just as long as you just stick to the story, a girl basically just trying to survive on her own. Now, it technically also is an isekai because she does talk about having a voice in her head that speaks to her, and this voice talks about like skyscrapers and different like things that they've encountered in their previous life. So while that voice isn't actually in control, she does have another soul in her body that's probably been reincarnated.
All right. Well,
So yeah, and she of course tames the slime.
all right. Well, there's the recommendations for the week. We're gonna end it here. Let me see if there's anybody we want to raid.
And I might wait till tomorrow.
I'm not gonna raid anybody this week. If
I
y'all want
might
to go watch Fana, go watch Fana. But other than that, I'm still just not gonna raid her this week. We'll see y'all.
after dinner. I might